Hello, everybody. This is our second to last Friday update. So you are almost done, right? Keep your foot on the gas. And right now I'm going to go over the homework for Monday. So you'll notice that it says begin work on your presentation. This is going to be 8 to 10 minutes, right? And so here is the handout that you are going to turn in this handout, which is going to simplify things because we'll have all the key information right there. You have that. So in your presentation, you actually don't have to worry about covering everything because your handout does, and you can pick and choose what do you think the most interesting things are for your audience. Now, the handout, as you can see, I flipped the order a little bit from what your paper would look like because typically, your paper has an introduction, gets our attention, and ends with the thesis. Here's the main idea. Well, in this case, I actually want you to start with the research question, lead us on the journey, and then you end with the actual answer, which in a sense is your thesis. So for this handout, which most likely you can fill up 70% of this already. And so I want you to be moving forward on it. So what is your current research question? What are the 3 to 5 terms that people really need to know in order to understand it? For example, in The Righteous Mind, moral psychology is something that he talks about a lot. And it's like, well, what exactly is that? So I want to know what you think the key terms are that we, the average person, would need to understand your topic. I'm going to come back to the razzle dazzle. What are the top 3 background pieces of information, right? And then I want you to, and you can use more space, right? Your 2 favorite sources. Explain why they're the best out of all your sources. So you'd put the title, like, so here's the article name, the author, and if it came from an article, say the Journal American Medical Association, you would put that there, or the website. But then you'll need to add another line or 2 about why you think it's the best. Okay. This question is about doing research. So I'm not asking you to share with me what you learned on your topic. What'd you learn about maybe the difference between books and articles in regards to your title? What'd you learn about credibility? Whatever that comes up, I want you to make sure to focus on this is what you learned on research, right? Key findings. So your point is to show that whatever topic you have, it's complex. So what would you think are the key things that prove this is a complex topic? And then, of course, the answer, right? That's this form you should be working on. Now, presentations will be a little bit different because we are online, right? So some of you, I'm sure, are doing way more than I am online. It'll be a piece of cake. I'm sure there's some others who are like, Steve, I'm going here and I'm posting, and that's where I'm at. Those are going to have a little bit more work, but I'm going to show you 2 things right now that I think you'll find very helpful. One is Screencast-O-Matic. This Screencast-O-Matic, this is actually what I used. And when I started, I began using it for free. You can make 10-minute videos. And then, because I'm a teacher and I need longer than 10 minutes, I just paid for, pretty cheap. You, for free, can sign up and use this to make your 8 to 10-minute presentation. It's pretty straightforward to use. They'll show you how to do it. One of the things that's really nice about this is if you can put it on your screen, you can capture it, right? So I use Screencast-O-Matic, but you can Google any sort of screen capture kind of things you want. But I just have one-stop shopping for you. Now, the other thing is Lynda Tech Library. So if you go to, actually I'm going to start at our Sentry homepage. If you're at our Sentry homepage, and I go to log in, and I'm going to log into My Century. Right here. Lynda is this training that we're all paying for. Right? Click on again, and you log into it. And what this website is, and it's I've only scratched the surface, but it's pretty darn cool, is basically here's all these lessons on all kinds of technology. So you can look at web, photography, video. If I can click in video, for example, right? Some of this is going to be, well, probably a ton of this is video editing, right? Oh, look, learn video editing. Very interesting. Say you have your free copy of PowerPoint because you downloaded Word or Microsoft Office, but you're not sure how to use it. Well, you can just click in PowerPoint and check it out. Here's how to make slides, all kinds of different lessons. So this is a place to go besides YouTube. You know, YouTube will probably serve you well as far as there's so many great how-tos. And lynda.com is actually sold to educational system places, you know, really focused on it, and you have access to it. So maybe start here, go to YouTube if you don't find it, or if you're already comfortable on YouTube, start there, and if you don't find anything. So one of the things I might do is turn PowerPoint into video. Right. See what they have there, and now there'll be an example. I'll just show you one of the things that I do with slides is I'll just click the slide on the screen, talk while I'm doing it, and I'm recording it, and boom, I just have, you know, a video presentation that I used PowerPoint. So your presentation, and we're signed up, we're online, so we have to, I think, you know, hard to present without video. Now, if you are, say, if you are very shy, or if you are hiding from the mafia, you do not have to put your face in the presentation. You see my big head everywhere, but I'm the teacher, makes kind of sense. I think it more personal, but you can absolutely have your content and your ideas up there, and we don't have to see your face if you don't want to. But I do think it's important that we hear you talking about it. So that was the Lynda Tech Library. Screencast is one that I use. The other thing, when it comes to your handout, right? And actually, I think that's the old screen. When it comes to your handout, I talk about Razzle Dazzle. And when you click on this, what you're going to get is this that gives you an entire list of things to do besides stand there with a sheet of paper and say something like, I am talking about medical marijuana. Medical marijuana is good. Marijuana is good, and there are lots of good uses for it. That is going to drive us all crazy. So what you will want to do is come up with one of these different ideas that you can showcase. And I'm going to give you an example. Okay, I am not going to show you an example right now because I am on the wrong computer for that. But I'm going to walk you through one or two of these examples. When it comes to your presentation, right, it's going to be break you down into groups like in your writing groups. You'll have the link to the handout that's already filled out, so everybody's got that information. Then you're going to have this presentation where you're pulling out the most interesting things. So I know one person is looking at institutionalized racism. And one of the topics here is explore the systems that are in your topic. Now, if you think about it, that paper probably covers a lot, it's 2,000 words, and how much can it go into, say, you know, the educational prison pipeline, right? And so maybe that's a system who's ever doing it. So, hey, and these are examples. So if I bring up your topic or a topic similar to yours and then do a technique, you do not have to use that. I'm just using it because I like to use student examples. You could pick a piece of a system, right, or one thing that you think, hey, you know what, this would be really cool. Most people don't get this, right? So, for example, to move it over to the medical marijuana one that I think a couple people are writing about, right? Most people are clueless about how much pharmaceutical companies and private prisons really want to keep marijuana illegal. So then you could show us the system about how these corporations, right, spend money on congressmen and women, right, to make sure that they keep it as illegal as possible for as long as they can. So that lobbying might be a system that you think people really need to understand. So that would be in the exploring the system, right? Key words with the stories. Now you have that list of definitions, but maybe you want to, instead of giving us, here is a 3-sentence definition of patriotism, right? You might want to give us, you might want to give us a 3-minute speech on how important patriotism is, or how it's the last refuge of the scoundrels. You kind of pick it. But what I'm hoping is that you have some fun with this and how you're going to present it, right? If you are musical, modify, create a song. Now, here's the thing. Out of all of these, there's probably, well, actually, we've got a lot of people in class. There's probably 6, 7 people in class, people watching this video right now, and you know who you are. You could probably make a pretty cool song about some of the main ideas. The rest of us will be like, oh, that ain't for me. That's fine. But if you do like making songs, you can come up with a new one. You can switch lyrics out, right? And create a role-playing scenario. Now you can see that this is a list I use in my in-person classes too. And actually, talk to Hillary about her presentation, because she was actually doing role-playing games and came up and had her group, which this would not, I don't think, be possible in video format, but just to show you how creative you can be, she came up with a role-playing game that hit the main ideas, and the people picked characters, and it was pretty darn cool. So have fun, go through this list, find a couple things that fit both your personality and your topic, right? For example, check this out. Create a questionnaire based on your topic, right? So maybe if we go back to institutionalized racism, you could be like, do you know that is? What do you think that is? Or, you could ask certain questions. You could, like, do you think our education system has anything to do with our incarceration rates? Or these are quickly made up questions, and I'm sure the people writing those papers would do better. But what you would want to do is set up questions that get us thinking about the topic. Excuse me, frog in my throat. All right. When I say here, bring in physical objects that represent the story, well, obviously there's no place to bring things in, but you might bring in, right, an object to the video. Oops, sorry, dog. This, for example, is in Back Today. Two, because Chewbacca's always fun. But number one, the actor who played him in Star Wars actually died today. So you'll see a lot. If you're seeing a bunch of Chewbacca stuff show up in some of your feeds, it is because the actor who played him died, right? But I would bring that in, talk about what's the significance of this. I call it Razzle Dazzle. Think of it as, I am not going to be boring in my presentation. Because remember, we do not want to sit through. There was an actor who played a character called Chewbacca in Star Wars movies. These Star Wars movies had Chewbacca, which was a character in them, and that actor died. I am very sad that he died today, right? No, come on. Be creative. Have some fun. Go through this list. And you have, right now, more than a week to do this. If you wait till the last minute, you might be pulling your hair out and scrambling to find stuff or get things. Whereas if you start now, excuse me, you will be on your way. Man, I have to practice breathing more, apparently. All right, this is the Friday update. I almost forgot. Hillary, that's our tutor, right? You can email her too, and me, right? But both of us are here to help out on both the paper and the presentation. And there's a survey that's important to help let the school know how Hillary is doing. So if you can click on that, it would be very short. All right, I'm gonna go practice breathing, and I hope you have a good, productive weekend.